All right, so we're going to be working with 128 longest consecutive sequence. Pretty much you're given an array, an unsorted array of integers nums, and then you just return the length of the longest consecutive element sequence. So in this case, the longest consecutive element sequence is 4 because 1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? And then it stops at 100 because it's not right after 4. Same thing for this question. And how we're going to do this is, well, we want to have a variable longest streak, right? This is holding, this is what we're going to return at the end. And essentially, as we're looping through it, we're going to ultimately end up updating this to hold the longest streak, right? Now, we also want to transform nums into a set, right? Set. This way, it removes any duplicates. One, it also allows us to traverse through the list through num set in O of n. So we go through this in O of n time, but if we want to look specific variables up, it's O of 1. But in this case, we're going to be going O of n times since we're going to be going through it. And so now that we have this, we kind of want to check if this is an empty list. So if nums, so this would return false. So if nums is empty, it gives a falsy, right? And then we want to do not nums. So if it's true when it's empty, right? So we return 0, which is it's empty, right? Now we want to loop through this. So we want to have for num in nums, we grab every number in num set, right? And here we're starting off with 100. So now we want to put an if loop. So if 100 minus 1 is in this set, sorry, if 100 minus 1 is not in this set, then this is the start of a consecutive element sequence, right? So if num minus 1 not in num set, then this is the beginning number, right? So here in this case, 1 would be a beginning number because there is not 0 isn't in this nums array. So it would be the start of the consecutive set, and then we set the current streak. The current streak is 1 right now because it's the start of the set, and then the current number is also going to be set to num, right? It's going to be set to the start of the streak. Now, while there is a consecutive streak, so while num plus 1, or current num plus 1 is inside of num set, then we're going to keep updating this current streak. So current streak is equal to plus equals 1. So we're adding 1 to the streak. So now if there is a consecutive number, it goes from 1 to 2 to 3 until the consecutive streak ends. And we're also going to be updating nums plus 1 because if there's a consecutive streak, essentially if you're at 1, then the consecutive streak would be 2, right? And you're also adding 1 to the streak. So essentially, it's just adding 1 to it. And that's the consecutive streak, right? Now, we want to keep track of what the longest streak is here. So the longest streak, here's where we're updating it, is equal to the max between the current streak and the longest streak. Now that's pretty much it. That's everything. And then now we just return the longest streak. Right? We submit. Now what's here? Num set is not defined. What do you mean by num set? Here we go. Let's fix this right here. And there you go. That's pretty much how this works. This is 128's longest consecutive sequence.